In hobby film photography, there comes a point when you realize your pictures are bad. They can be out of focus, overexposed, underexposed, heat damaged. Your aperture can be too small, or your frame rate can be too fast. When what you see in your viewfinder isn't what develops a week later, you're confronted with a very human feeling of disappointment, of unfulfilled expectations. When you rolled that film into your camera and press that button to let the shutter slip open, you do it believing you've captured that split second. And some of the most avid photographers would tell you that that's part of the hobby. Failure is what makes the good ones even better. Still, I don't know why I keep my bad negatives. I think most people come to the avid photographer's conclusion because it feels like gambling. Here's 36 bets that I can capture a moment. You place your bets and you give your negatives to the photo lab, and a week later you find out if you cash out or not. And it becomes Schrodinger's cat. You can't get hung up if this time you don't see it, right? For all you know, within that week, anything could be happening. And whether it's magic or chemistry or both, you end up giving up control, choosing to trust the process. Of course, choosing to do that is easy. You can't just not develop film. This very human logic is the one we use to justify unexplainable things. Things like hurricanes, forces of nature, things like the belief in God and true love, or even why we make connections at all. Photography is much like these things, not just in the sense that the logic to justify developing film is the same, but also that the logic doesn't protect you from the possibility of disappointment or from being wrong. Your average strip of 35mm color film stock can be made up of anywhere from 5 to 14 different layers of prepped reaction, all made up of 12 components that must undergo 8 different chemical reactions all over the course of its creation, exposure, and development. Every negative and subsequent picture you've ever seen has had to undergo this process, whether it was a mistaken picture or the best composition you've ever made. Both require equal care to be developed. Sometimes you go through the whole development to find you have a shitty, out-of-focus picture. And it takes the whole process to realize that the mistake you made to cause it happened all the way back when you took it. And it's irreversible. The photo may never be what you thought it should have been. And I guess I keep my bad negatives because of that. Because I can't really tell if they're bad or if I just expected them to be better. I guess in that way, people are a lot like pictures. We're all just chemistry with different sensitivities and reactivities. We go through states of exposure and development, and there are 1,000 ways of failing throughout the process. And like photography, people and life, they all imply a dangerous question. What do I do with my bad negatives?